of Canadian troops, and that brought an end to the popular democracy in Haiti.
This coup was not conducted by Haitians. Although you may see Haitians with guns, this is Bush with Chirac, with Martin working together. If France returned the $22 billion that it owes to Haiti, because that money was stolen from Haiti, there would be no need for all this foreign...
Incredible stories from the pre-coup and just post-coup periods around 2004. A lot of it was documented in the University of Miami report, and journalists like Kevin Pina. So this was available here in Canada and to North Americans. Of course, Haitians knew a lot about this, but even outside of Haiti, the information was there that certain wealthy Haitians that are famous in Haiti, like Reginald Boulos and Andy Apade and so on, they were heavily involved in financing and talking to and negotiating with so-called gang members in order to get them to do things. And their pretext was that they were doing these negotiations to try to get these young men out of the gang lifestyle. But after these meetings, these gangsters would go out and kill each other. The people who would talk to Apade would then go and kill young men who were, close to and affiliated with in some way the government or supporters of the government. So they were fomenting violence in the poor neighborhoods and sponsoring it and intellectually authoring it all along. So you're completely right, and this is a part of the story that's not told enough, is that these so-called gangs in the poor neighborhoods, a lot of the violence was actually fomented, organized, and so on for very political reasons before the coup in order to get the coup going. And since then, since the coup, since 2004, there's been plenty of violence, plenty of kidnappings that were organized and fomented simply for profit. A lot of these guys are now, like this latest news of this kidnapping, as I'm sure you know, Jean, was just rich people kind of kidnapping each other. And that happens in Mexico. It happens in other places, but it's a for-profit kind of criminal activity.
Now, let's talk a bit about the UN mission that was headed by Brazil, which many in the progressive camp took as a betrayal. There's been demonstrations in Latin America, especially in Brazil, against that mission. That was even before what tragically happened at the end of 2010, when the UN troops introduced cholera, which was absent from the island for hundreds of years. And that cholera epidemic has caused over 7,500 deaths in Haiti alone, with several hundred thousands contaminated. So the responsibility to protect was what was, I guess, called as a reason why the UN went there. Obviously, they're not protecting the lives of Haitians, but rather endangering it. And Fidel Castro the other day, after they had declared that he was dead, in his first speech, took time to mention that it's only logical that the United Nations pay reparations to the families of the victims of the cholera epidemic in Haiti.
Yeah. That's right. So just to take that apart a little bit, I mean, the responsibility so Haiti is the place where we see what the international community can do compared to a democratic government. So they intervened in Haiti, they broke something that really wasn't broken, and then they came in and said, we're going to fix this thing. And when they came to fix it, they brought cholera. They brought 7,500 cholera deaths. They helped this interim government that took over from Haiti. They killed people themselves. They went through the poor neighborhoods and shot up the neighborhoods and killed lots of people in Cité Soleil and Bel Air themselves. They also
that is documented by the British journal The Lancet, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there was a study that was done that looked at excess mortality. So they used the same methodologies that you've seen in these household survey type cluster sample methodology to look at how many people have died under the new regime, under the post-coup regime, and the numbers are pretty shocking. Like, there are two ways of looking at casualties, and one of them is this kind of journalistic method where you go and you look at the bodies and you count them, and over time you get a picture. And when we looked at that picture as it was happening from 2004 to 2006, it was pretty shocking. The deaths were in the hundreds. What the Lancet study and the cluster sampling suggests is that the numbers were much higher because people in households reported violent deaths that were likely political, and they were much higher than people thought, perhaps in the thousands. Same with rapes. So the overall amount of violence increased dramatically after responsibility to protect was invoked.
Yeah, so Justin Purdue, you are a professor at York University in Toronto. What's your area of studies?
I kind of have two areas. One is ecology, actually, and I study environmental science, and then this other one, increasingly, is I write about political conflicts and social movements.
Okay, and you are in Ottawa Friday, November the 16th to present your book at 7 p.m. with Collective Works Bookstore, which is at 1242 Wellington Street West. What is the cost of your book, Mr. Purdue?
The book, I think, is $30. You can get it from the bookstore. You can also get it on Between the Lines, Cresta's website. BTL is the Canadian publisher.
Okay, and so we remind you that the book is titled Haiti's New Dictatorship, the Coup, the Earthquake, and the UN Occupation. The author is Justin Purdue, professor at York University. Mr. Purdue, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jean.
All right, so...
Fighting for freedom in Haiti. We don't need no lies, no hypocrisy. We will control our destiny. Poor people must be free.